Staying open can lead you to really beautiful things.
A habit that changed your life.
Positive ions cause disease and stress, and negative ions cause well-being.
And how will it help people reconnect with their inner wisdom and vitality?
So one thing is people overcommitting to tasks.
Have faith. Have faith. Have faith on yourself. Have faith on your journey. Have faith on everything around the universe is shaping up if you are showing up.
Emotion is really just energy and motion. That's actually the etymology of the word.
The first signs people tend to ignore, the overcommitment of things, setting the boundaries. People are not setting the boundaries. Welcome back to Trust Your Journey 1.0, the podcast where we explore the real stories behind personal transformation and soulful leadership. Today's guest is someone who brings light, literally and metaphorically, into every room she enters. She is a certified health coach, motivational keynote speaker, and dancer who helps busy professionals beat burnout, boost focus, and reclaim their inner vitality. She has worked with everyone from construction crews to corporate executives and is now expanding her work to empower athletes and coaches. And in this December, she is launching her upcoming The Vitality and Wellness Studio, a beautiful space that combines holistic growth, energy, inspiration, and practical tools for lasting change. She is deeply passionate about spirituality and loves guiding others to connect with their innate inner wisdom and personal power, helping them lead with authenticity and heart. She is also a passionate dancer who uses LED wings and vibrant movement to help people feel free and connected to their true selves. Magdalena, welcome to Trust Your Journey 1.0. It's such a joy to have you here.
Thank you so much. It's a joy to be here. I just love your energy and it's always nice to talk with you. So I'm really grateful that you have me here.
Magdalena, first question, because your story is one of the deep transformation, from guiding professionals out of burnout to helping them fall back in love with their bodies. Can you share how your own journey led you to this path of holistic health and spiritual wellness?
Yes, I have had so many different health conditions throughout my life, quite debilitating ones and chronic. And I always had this attitude before I became more conscious and aware of what was going on, that something was wrong. I just felt powerless. I just wanted a quick fix. Like I wanted things to go away and I just wanted to be better. But I realized I had to go through a really deep spiritual and heart-opening journey for these issues to finally go away because they were my gateway to connecting more on a deeper level with with my own self and with something greater. So like God or the universe or my source energy. One of the key moments that really got me started on this journey of tapping into myself and my inner power almost, but it's really just connecting to like the universal power, was when I got really sick with whooping cough. And I was bedridden for around 6 weeks and I was coughing day and night. I lost so much weight. I was really, really sick. It almost felt like I was dying. And because I was stuck at home and nobody was around because it was so contagious, so people couldn't even really visit me, I was forced to go within. I couldn't distract myself with anything because I was just trapped at home. And that's when I started discovering what it is to really like trust the process of life and how to connect with the heart. I came across a documentary called The Power of the Heart, and it talked a lot about the wisdom of the heart and even how there's more neuronal connections in the heart than in the brain. So how it's even in a way more intelligent than the brain, and it actually receives information faster than the brain. And it just started connecting to my heart, which I've never done before, which is interesting because it's so close to the lungs, which is where my issue was happening. And as I started, then it just changed my life. I started making different choices. I started enjoying my own company. I stopped going out as much, although I still was quite active, but less than I used to be. And yeah, I just learned to go within rather than look for answers outside of myself.
So your breaking point was looking inward into that state of that illness of coughing which you went through, right? And I'm sure lot many people went through these traumas. I'm sure will uncover certain other hidden truths about your life and your journey. But this roots me to the second question of mine, Magda. You've worked with teams and executives across very different industries, from corporate to construction. What are the most common issues of burnout you see today? And what are the first signs people tend to ignore? Like you turn inward, right? But people ignore that.
Totally. Um, so one thing is people overcommitting to tasks or things in their life, packing their schedule way too full with things that they don't actually have time to rest and even time to self-reflect. I think a part of having a healthy body and life is give yourself time to be in silence, to self-reflect, to go to nature and do nothing. We're always like in this state of doing, 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 and that's reflected in our work life and our personal lives. So people are just like overcommitting to things. Even bosses having unrealistic expectations of their employees sometimes, where they give them all these tasks, but they don't realize they can't finish it all in the amount of time that's required sometimes. But going back to what, employees are have control over. So they might not have control over how much work they're given, but learning how to set boundaries. So saying no when they don't want to do something or can't, both in their personal life and the work life. And of course, it requires, healthy communication. Like if an employee, for example, is just so swamped with work and they know they physically can't do it, even though they're doing their best, they can have a conversation with their boss about it and just say, like, I'm doing my best, but this is physically impossible. And sometimes people just like keep that inside, and some people end up getting panic attacks or just being resentful. Whereas if you can just open up a conversation, that can be very helpful. People not getting enough sleep causes can lead to burnout. Sleep is the number one thing for everything. Even people who are trying to lose weight, I say the number one thing for weight loss is get enough sleep. Because when we're sleeping, our bodies are detoxifying. It's a time for the neurotransmitters in the brain to be restored. So sleep is really, really important. And then also lack of nutrition. This way I love teaching nutrition when I go into companies to teach people what to eat to support their body and their brain for focus, for endurance, for mental clarity. And that prevents burnout because when people are not fueling their bodies with the proper nutrition, how can they maintain, live up to all the demands that they are presented with? So those are the top things I would say that lead to burnout. And again, like not listening to yourself. People are just so caught up in the mind and they're just thinking, like, what can I do to make the most money, to be the most productive? But they don't really listen to what their soul is saying to them. So I really teach people also to tune into their soul and make decisions from that place. Yeah.
I'm sure the causes of burnout, which you articulated right now, and the first signs people tend to ignore, the overcommitment of things, setting the boundaries. People are not setting the boundaries. There are
Mhm.
no lack of nutrition, no proper sleep. These are all first signs which our body also shows to us, right? And glad you highlighted all these points, Magda. This leads to me to my third question, Magda. You blend wellness with movement and even dance, a combination that feels both joyful and healing. How do you see physical movement as a bridge between emotional release and personal empowerment?
Yes. So emotion is really just energy and motion. That's actually the etymology of the word. And so, if it's energy in motion and you want to help move it along, move it through, the best way to do that is through movement. And for the past many years in our society, we've been stuck on solving our emotions through the mind, like with cognitive behavioral therapy and trying to rationalize and figure everything out up here. But if you can just move, like, you have an emotion come up and move according to what you feel. So I actually lead like a 4 movement exercise where you do different movements for different emotions. So if you're feeling really angry, it would be like stomping on the ground and punching, all these like aggressive movements. If you want to release sadness, it would be more shaking, like shaking the grief through the body. If you feel stuck in terms of creativity, hip circles are a really good way to stimulate that because the solar plexus and the sacral chakra, which are responsible for creativity, are located in that area. And then if you want to just feel grounded, so just like standing on the ground and imagining uh, putting attention on the bottom of your feet, the soles of your feet, and just even touching your body like this, just like grounding yourself in reality in the present moment helps you when you're kind of like overwhelmed or all over the place to just like ground. So yeah, and then like with dance too, I love dancing when it comes to shifting energy because the power of music is combined with the movement, and music can shift your state so quickly because it has different frequencies. So sometimes when I'm feeling really low and sad and depressed, I put on like upbeat music, like dance music or like I don't know, even like EDM or techno or reggae, just something like really fun and upbeat. And if I'm feeling really overwhelmed and stressed out, I'll put on relaxing Zen, calm, meditative music, and it instantly just brings me into that space. So that's why I love dancing because I love combining the movement with the music.
I'm sure the physical movement, the dance practices which you are incorporating into this wellness practices, because I personally feel your body stores everything. Whatever emotions which we are going through, our body holds those emotions. If we are not releasing it through movement, which you mentioned, and dance is the best way to take it out because you feel joyful as well. And this is the reason why I appreciated that concept of incorporating the dance with that wellness initiative. And it's a good practice, Magda, which you're doing. Now, this leads to me to another question of mine because your new venture, the Vitality and Wellness Studio, is launching soon. What
Mhm.
inspired you to create this space and how will it help people reconnect with their inner wisdom and vitality?
Yeah, so I actually just recently came up with the name yesterday. Um, I've always wanted to create a community where I can teach people all the different things that I know. And I have such a broad array of tools in my toolkit. And I really wanted to teach people like proper nutrition, how they can, again, connect with their inner self, how they like all these different things on spirituality, even things like what you do, teaching people how to connect with the sun. And then I decided I would love to have a lot of inspiring people come into the community to speak as guest speakers. Because at one point, I even wanted to start a YouTube channel called I Interview Interesting People, and that never happened. And I realized I can bring this into my community
Yeah.
where people can, because I know so many amazing people that have so much wisdom to share, and you're definitely one of those people. And I want to share that with others. And I thought in within a community, it would be just a great place for people to, on a continuous basis, get to meet people like yourself and get to learn about all these amazing things that bring nourishment to the body and the soul. And then I also just love coaching. And I love coaching on different topics from like mental health to hormone balancing to helping people lose weight to helping people boost their energy levels to improving their sleep. I didn't want to restrict it to just one thing. And that's why I decided to create this Inspired Vitality and Wellness Studio, where we can do all of these things. And a big part of it is inspiration and creativity. And I'm even going to have artists come and speak. So, singers, performers, actors, and share
Wow.
what lights them up, and maybe even give a little acting lesson or even give a little singing lesson to help people connect with their voices, with their throat chakra. Like all of this to me is wellness. When you're really expressing yourself through your soul and your body, and you're supporting your body physically, that's true wellness to me. It's all so related. That's why I'm a holistic health coach because I can't isolate these things from each other. Yeah.
And I'm sure, Magda, your vision regarding this studio and the work which you're trying to do, it's going to create that impact which you have that in your mind. Because not many people do this stuff, inviting other people, collaborating with them. People are they're self-centered into this industry that they don't forget to invite the other people out there. So the thing which you're doing, it will be creating an impact and it will amplify your studio's wellness services too. And I'm sure it's gonna go at a global level. Thank you so much, Magda, for coming to this point. And this leads to me another question of mine, because our audience, many of our listeners are high achievers struggling to balance ambition with self-care. What are
Mhm.
the three simple yet powerful practices that they can start today to restore balance and energy in their daily lives?
Yeah, so honestly, one of the biggest things is to just center into your body, like sit up straight or stand up and ground your feet. If you can be outside on wet grass or sand for actual grounding to happen, which is where the negative ions from the earth get absorbed by your body and the positive ions are released. Positive ions cause disease and stress, and negative ions cause well-being counterintuitively. But just like putting your feet on the ground and putting your attention on the bottom of your feet, and then you can close your eyes just to kind of keep your energy within you. When you close your eyes, the prana remains inside the body, as you know. And just grounding, like being in your body rather than out here. Because stress and burnout starts when the mind is just overactive. So grounding in your body, even like touching your body, as I mentioned earlier, is a really great way to ground. Another thing you can do while in this position is just take one deep breath, like a really long, deep breath. So if people are listening and watching this right now, we can all do it together. Just take one deep breath in.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so this is what we'll do. We'll take a deep breath in through our nose. We'll hold it for maybe 4 seconds, and then we'll slowly exhale it through our mouth, and then hold our breath at the bottom, and then we'll see how we feel.
Yeah.
Are you
Let's
ready?
do
So
it.
let's close our eyes and inhale in. Hold for 4 seconds and exhale through your mouth and hold at the bottom and open your eyes. Isn't that nice?
One breath can do wonders for
Right?
a soul, I would say. Only one breath.
Yeah. And especially when you're really imagining all this energy coming from your diaphragm and really filling up your lungs, expanding your heart chakra, and then up into the crown and third eye chakras, and then just like really holding the energy there and then slowly releasing it. And sometimes a cool way to amp this up even more is to do it through when you're exhaling, sigh it out or make like some kind of a sound that helps release, because sound also helps to release stress. So, yeah. So that's one thing, is just one long deep breath. Another thing that's really powerful too is the priming technique. So it's the Bastrika, which I'm sure you're aware of. It's originated in India long ago, and a lot of people teach it now. So Tony Robbins calls this the priming technique, and you can look it up on YouTube. But you're basically forcefully inhaling air and then forcefully exhaling it out while you're shooting your arms up in the air and letting them drop. So you do this multiple times, like 3 sets of 20, which will take like 60 seconds, or you could do even 20 if you don't have much time, but it's so simple. And you basically just do this.
Yeah.
And it's so energizing and so calming and grounding at the same time. It's such an interesting feeling because you feel your whole body is like activated and alive, but your mind is so calm because all the oxygen that you just breathed into the brain. Yeah, so that's another technique that I really like teaching because it's so simple and really effective. Yeah.
I'm sure, Magda, the beautiful insights which you have given, your perspective makes wellness feel approachable, not overwhelming. Now let's switch gears for a fun and spontaneous segment, our rapid fire round. So this is the second section of our podcast, wherein we'll be covering up 10 to 15 questions about your life, about it will be very quick, and I want like quick answers on that. Let's make it joyful and fun and personal to reveal your human side and personality, right? It's your human
Oh,
side of the personality because we as coaches, people think that we have come from some other planet, right? But we are from the same planet. We are humans, so we need to consider that. Yeah.
we typically have more problems than the average person, and we're learning to solve them all, and that's why we're coaches.
Exactly, exactly. Thank you so much, Magda. So, coming back to our second round, which is the rapid fire round with Magda. Magda, first question of the rapid fire round. Morning ritual which you never skip.
Lemon water with salt in the
All right.
morning.
Second question. One word that defines wellness for you.
Joy.
I'm sure everybody wants that in their life. Nobody wants to be a sad person. Third question, Magda. Your favorite dance form.
Free flow dance with my LED wings. But it used to be Latin dancing like bachata, salsa, merengue.
So Magda is a beautiful dancer. Go and watch her Instagram videos. We'll share the details. There are a lot many things which we'll be covering up in the podcast. Just stay tuned for that. Fourth question, Magda, for the rapid fire round. A quote that lifts your spirit instantly.
A which?
A quote that lifts your spirit instantly.
A code?
A quote, any quote which lifts your spirit.
Like a keyword or something?
Yes, a keyword which ignites you internally.
Yeah, let's say music.
That's the music. So any music or
I like
any
Afrobeat.
Afrobeat. Okay.
Yes, yeah.
Next question, Magda. Beach sunrise or mountain sunset?
Beach sunrise. Actually, beach sunset.
Beach sunset. I would say both. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, beach. I love the mountains, but I'll choose the beach anytime.
All right. And beautifully described as well. Sixth question, Magda. Favorite wellness book or author, which you know?
Okay, recently I'm reading Effortless Success for the third time. It's more about how to have success in your life effortlessly without the use of discipline or willpower or striving, just through the sense of like joy and inspiration. And it's, yeah, by Michael Neal. I love that book.
And we'll mention it in the description as well in
Yeah,
case if somebody wants to read that book.
sure.
One song, Magda, that always makes you move.
Oh gosh, Maria, Maria. She reminds me of West Side Story. Carlos Santana Maria, especially the Afrobeats version of it.
Oh my God. I'm sure we'll play that song as well if there is no copyright there. But
Sure.
in case if somebody wants to listen to that song, please go and dance to that tune.
Sure. Yeah.
Next question, Magda, for the rapid fire round. What's that one thing you do daily to recharge your soul?
I love just putting my hands right directly on my heart, like skin to skin, and just connecting with my heart chakra. And then feeling like I'm connecting to the universal oneness and to like the love of God or, just that beautiful energy that holds all the wisdom. I love doing that. Yeah.
And I'm sure this is the reason why you look so ignited as well, because you're an ignited soul and that glows on your face. Magda, this leads to me the another question. A habit that changed your life.
Going to bed early.
I'm sure, like lot many people, they don't follow that going to bed early, early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. Right? We keep on listening to these statements since childhood, but it's actually useful because our body is designed in such a way that we need to open up our eyes with sunlight, and we should go down with the sunset. So
Yeah.
thank you so much,
And
Magda, for this.
one more thing I wanted to say is
Yeah.
grounding. I talked about earlier. That's really changed my life. Being in nature, just and especially barefoot. I walk like all summer long. whenever I can, I'm barefoot. And it's really just made me feel grounded and like connected to myself. And I have so much more, like my intuition is heightened and life just flows better ever. I don't know. It seems like since I started grounding, that's when it started happening. Yeah.
Last question, Magda, for the rapid fire round. Yoga mat or dance floor? What would you prefer?
Dance floor. Dance.
I'm sure that must have been a simple one, but I just wanted to put this question up for you because I feel connected to people who are actually dancing from their soul because even I love dancing. It's
Mm.
all about. I've danced on many Bollywood songs and many filmy songs, but it's all about connecting now to the Lord, right? Connecting to the divine. And that's where
Yes.
my whole inclination now is towards. So thank you so much, Magda, for this answering all the rapid fire questions in such a joyful manner and such with such a honesty. You're such an honest person. I'm recording a podcast with. So thank you so much for that. I
It was
really
fun.
love I really loved this. You radiate so much joy and authenticity. Now let's go deeper into the heart of your journey, where growth, challenges, and purpose meet.
Sure. Mhm.
Magda, this is the third section of the podcast, where we will be going down deep into your journey. There will be some questions which might trigger you, which might trigger your emotions as well. But I just want that you be open about whatever you have went through, so at least our audience is getting connected to their journeys as well. Yeah.
Sure.
Magda, first question. Every transformational journey begins with an inner awakening. Was there a moment when you realized you were living out of alignment and decided it was time to change?
There were many moments when I realized that, because, it's always a process and another layer being revealed. But one of the moments was when again, it was a chronic condition when I had really bad adrenal fatigue and I was just so burnt out. And for almost 5 years, I was, yeah, not in a good state where I couldn't do a lot of the things that I used to be able to do. And out of alignment for me was being spread thin, like spreading myself thin, which is still something I sometimes automatically default back to, but I catch myself so much faster now. And realizing that, yes, there are so many great opportunities for us out there. And I'm somebody who's very curious and excited about new things, but not everything is aligned to my mission and my purpose. So, in alignment for me was actually spending a lot more time by myself and reflecting on what my soul wants and connecting with the divine rather than being so busy out there, going to different events, meeting different people. I always thought of myself as an extrovert, but I'm realizing I'm actually like an ambivert, so which is both extroverted and introverted. And I actually needed a lot more time on my own to recharge, and I was never giving myself that. So, stepping back into alignment was really learning how to take care of my body, resting much more than I thought I needed to. Like, I actually need a lot of rest and a lot of time alone, which I just had to accept. And when I do that, I have so much more energy and I just feel more aligned in life.
And I'm sure, Magda, the awakening moment where it happens on a daily basis with everyone, and I'm sure you must have went through those awakening stages of yours. It happens on a daily basis, and it happens right now, today as well. So
Yeah.
awakening happens on daily basis. If people say that, oh, I've awakened, no, you have to get awakened on a daily basis. And I'm
Yeah.
sure you are following that path. And once you're awakened, your journey will never look like the same. Yeah. You'll be doubtful, but you'll be having more faith than doubts. You'll be having fears, but you'll be having more faith than your fears. You'll be having everything, whatever life will give you in form of challenges, but the only thing which matters is your journey, that how you overcame those challenges. And I'm sure you sitting here right now talking to us, talking to the audience, and you have come out of that journey and you're now here coaching others on the same path, that they should be able to listen to their inner self and how people can connect to their inner soul. Besides this, your calm presence and bright energy, this leads to me the another question which I'm coming jumping on to. Behind your
Mhm.
calm presence and bright energy, Magda, I'm
Yeah.
sure there were many challenges, personally and professionally. Can you share a moment of struggle that later became your biggest lesson?
Well, I'll go back to the time when I had adrenal fatigue because it took me out so badly that there were so many days where I just had to like suddenly lay down because my body couldn't physically support itself. And so I went from doing so much, like being involved in so many different things, packing my schedule super full, to not even being able to sit up properly. Like sometimes I would be out with a friend and I'd have to say, like, I have to leave now because I have to go lay down, or I couldn't even carry groceries. Because if I carried heavy groceries, then for like a week straight, I would be almost bedridden. Like that's the degree to which I was exhausted. Um, but again, it taught me I have to listen to my body. And I wasn't listening to my body for so many years, which is why I ended up in that situation. Um, and again, I'm just coming back to the same thing over and over again, like realizing that I need so much rest and being okay with that. And that for me, recharging is like through silence, being in nature, just being alone and being away from all the distractions of the world. Um, so that's my biggest lesson, like really listen to my body and listen to my soul. And I have so much more to offer people when I'm listening to my soul rather than when I'm living in my head. Yeah.
And that's so rightly you mentioned, Magda, that it's all about turning inwards rather than seeing outside. Because outside, there will be multiple thousands of options, which you said that there will be multiple things, multiple challenges, multiple things. But how you can overcome those challenges, how you can overcome those problems, it's inside. The solution is always inside. You
And our
might.
power comes from within as well, right? So we don't have to rely on anything external for us to feel centered and powerful and connected. When we feel a certain way inside, we can take that to any situation and we radiate that outward rather than having to rely on things to fill us up.
I'm sure, Magda, your story is touching me from heart because I record so many podcasts. It's been my 21st podcast, which I'm recording right now. And uh, all the journeys, it has just taught me one thing: have faith, have faith, have faith on yourself, have faith on your journey, have faith on everything around the universe is shaping up if you are showing up. If you're not
Mhm.
showing up to the universe, nothing is shaping up for you. Just show up just like the sun and it will shape up for you. This leads to me the another question of mine, Megda. You often speak about leading with authenticity and heart in a world driven by performance and perfection. How can professionals cultivate that genuine self connection? It's everybody is behind the targets. Oh, we need to achieve that target. We need to work for our appraisals. We need to work for that thing. We need to work for that particular thing. So there's so many things. How can someone like actually cultivate this genuine self connection?
Well, first of all, tap into what brings you joy. Really reflect on that. I think a lot of people don't think about it. So just think about what inspires you, what makes you want to live, and what brings you joy. And then think of what are some actions you can take toward that. Um, Another thing is, I mean, again, just like taking more time for yourself, tuning into your heart. So really putting energy on the heart space. And there's cool exercises you can do to open up your heart, which is like the cactus pose, because you're actually physically opening up the heart space. Um, and then also zooming out, because when we're like working hard and striving for success or money, we're kind of living in delusion because all these things pass away. Like you can, become super rich and have all this money, but then you pass away and then what? Who
Yeah.
cares that you collected all this money? So when you zoom out and you actually realize what is important in life, like what do I actually want to be remembered by? How many successes I've had in my career or or whatever? Or do I want to be remembered by how I made people feel and how much joy I brought to others and how much I cared about others? Like that seems like the more lasting legacy. So when you can tap into that more, you don't get so bogged down by the day-to-day things. And then maybe it'll actually cause you to create different choices. Maybe you'll choose a different career because of that. Or you won't be so stressed out at work when you realize you don't have to take everything so seriously in terms of like when you get stressed out, you can just kind of relax even in stressful situations because you realize it's okay. It's just a moment in time. It's not the end of the world. What matters is how I'm treating others, how I'm reacting to this. Am I reacting out of love or am I reacting out of fear? So I would say like zooming out and just seeing the bigger picture and remembering that life is so short, and like, do I really want to die thinking about, did I make enough money? Or do I want to die thinking about, did I make, was I kind enough to people around me? Was I able to cultivate these relationships that I feel those things actually do maybe last on some level, when we pass. So really fostering what's everlasting. So to me, the soul is what lasts forever. So I imagine that relationships that we build, those somehow last forever in eternity. Yeah.
And I'm sure it does, Magda. Whatever relations, whether it's professional, whether it's personal, whether it's side hustle, whether it's corporate connections, anything, whether it's through networking, it does not matter if your soul is pure. If your
Yes.
soul is pure, you'll find people like you. You'll find
Mhm.
universe gives that to us. It's not us who is chasing the bigger dreams of our lives. It's the universe who wants us to function in a certain way. And if we analyze that particular thing, we'll be able to connect to our true selves. It just takes one conscious breath, the deep breath exercise which we
Mhm.
did initially.
Mhm.
That's what
Mhm.
will give us that soul connection first, because it connects everything, our pran and everything, with our sacral chakra to our manipura chakra, throat chakra, ajna chakra, then going to the crown chakra. So everything is in the body, and everything is inside the body. Nothing is outside. Outside are just reactions. You'll get reactions of your actions only. So
Mhm.
if audience, if they are listening, Magda's only secret is to cultivate that genuine self connection, is
Mhm.
to connect with the nature, connect with the outside, the zoom out phase which you mentioned. It's the beautiful thing which people can take it from this podcast. Magda, you're now bringing wellness to athletes and coaches too. What
Mhm.
excites you about this next phase of your journey, and what do you believe they can learn from holistic healing?
That's such a new niche for me that also came out of just pure inspiration. And I decided to go with it, and things started aligning very quickly. So I was like, okay, I guess I meant to be doing this. Well, first of all, just like watching sports, I started watching more sports on TV and watching tennis and just seeing how people, just athletes inspire me. They're kind of like superhumans to me, even the way like, the way they treat their bodies and the way they're able to do things that I could never do. But also just the way that, so actually it was the US Open that I was watching, and it was a particular guy who won. It was Yannick Sinner. He's a tennis player, and the way he handled losing. So it was he was in the finals. He's like one of the top tennis players in the world, and he lost to his opponent, Carlos Alvarez. And the way he handled the whole thing was so beautiful and graceful and inspiring. And he just looked like he enjoyed himself, even though he didn't win. I could tell, he enjoyed the game, it looked like, in the sense that he didn't get overly frustrated when he was missing shots. He just seems like he was like lighthearted about the whole thing. And then when he won, the first thing he said was he congratulated his opponent and his opponent's entire coaching team, being like, "You guys are doing something right because you won. Like, congratulations, good job." He was just such a good sport about it, and I just thought like, wow, I really want to teach people that the point is not to win or lose. The point is to enjoy the journey. Same with life. It's not, the point is not do you reach your goal, but are you enjoying the journey and the process and the experience of it all? Um, so that's one thing that inspired me is like watching somebody lose and still have so much joy in a way and grace. But also teaching athletes to trust the process because for so many athletes, the sport is their entire life. And when they get an injury or something happens and they can't play anymore, they feel like their life is over. Like it's truly such a blow to them because they're like, now what? Like every minute of the day pretty much is spent towards reaching this goal of becoming, winning a game or just becoming the best athlete. And when that's taken away from them, they don't know what to do with themselves. So I want to teach them to trust the process. Like I've been taken out so many times in life as a non-athlete that just it felt like it was derailing me, but it was actually redirecting me to something deeper within myself. So I want to teach them to trust the process and to take that time to actually do something productive with it in terms of like going within, looking at where can they make changes in their life, because that's often a time of self-reflection. Sometimes it could be to write a book, like maybe there's things that are meant to be expressed through us that we could never do when we're so busy, and athletes are really busy with training all the time. So teaching them, yeah, how to use that time in the most efficient and effective way. And then I also am really excited to work with athletes because they're so ready for coaching. Like they're very coachable. They have
Right.
coaches. It's in their nature to be coached. And I like working with people that want to learn and that want to better themselves. And they're the prime, niche of people that want to optimize themselves on so many different levels, mentally, physically, emotionally. And yeah, I just love working with people that soak up my advice. Yeah.
I'm sure, Magda, this new venture of yours, it's gonna create a ripple effect because people who are coachable, they're gonna take wellness in a
Mhm.
much amplified way and in a much faster way than people who are not coachable and they want wellness, but their mind says that currently they're occupied somewhere else. This is the reason why wellness takes time. Wellness is all about seeding, right? And if the nurturing is not there, the ground is not there, the seedings will never prosper, right? It will never become a tree. It's all
Mhm.
about nurturing, and nurturing is our body, our emotions, and you mentioned the joy, the joy which we feel while experiencing any work, whatever we are doing on in our daily life. So thank you so much, Magda. I'm sure this vision of yours will succeed and will create a ripple effect for many out there. And to the audience, if they want to connect with you, we'll provide the details in some time. Just stay tuned for more. Magda, for anyone listening who feels exhausted, disconnected, or uninspired, what's your message for them to begin trusting their body, their intuition, and their journey again?
Just settle into the present moment because the present moment has all the answers. So when you kind of like take that deep breath, get grounded, you'll know what to do next. The next little baby step. Don't feel like you have to change everything in your life. Just focus on what's the next little baby step you can take toward better well-being. Um, and once you settle in and you take that first step toward wellness, then think of like an inspiring vision. I really think people thrive on inspiration and hope. So think of like something that really excites you that you imagine yourself doing. Whether you end up doing it or not, it doesn't matter. It's about cultivating and igniting that feeling of inspiration and joy inside. So what's your like big vision and mega dream that you would love to fulfill one day? And just sit with that feeling, and that feeling will also guide you to the next step, whatever it may, the outcome, it might be what you actually dreamed up, it might be something different, but just being guided by that sense of inspiration, I think, is what really helps people, yeah, get out of a slump.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's all about taking actions. Whatever you want to do
inspired actions.
in your life, take action. Whether it's you want to build a healthy relation with your colleagues, with your friends, with your partners. Just take action. Action does not mean you need to go and punch them. Yeah. Action means you need to start that conversation. You need to build that foundation of that conversation. So thank you so much, Magda. Because of all these questions, I've got to know something about you, Magda. You don't work out of desperation. You are an inspiration seeker, and the inspiration what you are giving to the audience, to me as well, as a host of this podcast series, it's all about finding your path and getting stick to that. Yeah, you will meet people on that path. If you'll keep on changing your path, then
Mhm.
obviously you'll meet different people on different paths. So your path should be one. That's where you'll meet crossroads. There will be multiple crossroads ahead, but path should be one. So that's what your journey teaches me, that you should stick to your path and you'll find people like Magda in your life. So thank you so much, Magda, for all your time. This leads to me the last question of you, for you, I would say. Looking ahead for your life, what is the ultimate vision you hold for yourself, for your clients, and the world of leadership out there? What do you want your legacy to be look like after 5 years or 10 years down the line from now?
Yeah, I just want to teach people how to take care of their bodies in a really fun way where it feels effortless and exciting, and how to connect with their soul to be able to express the depths of their soul. Because when everybody is sharing of their gifts, the world is a better place. Like that's truly, I think, the point of life is to just express the individual gift that we all have. Imagine when you go to a concert and there's a singer that's like sings so beautifully, or back to the athletics thing, you're watching a sport where the athletes are just so good at what they do. Everyone is sharing their gifts to the world, and that brings so much, excitement. So teaching people how to connect with that, and then because of that, teaching them how to lead and live their lives from a place of love. Um, yeah. Yeah. And I just wanted to say one more thing, and it's still, I just lost it for a moment, but um, having people also to, we all have so many different belief systems and opinions, and there's so many different religions and political views out there. Teaching people how to find the common ground, like where we can connect with each other on the heart level, because all these opinions and things are in the mind and they separate us. And that's when we usually, start to hate each other. And I'm like, no, but there's always this like thread of connectivity between us, and it's on the heart level. So teaching people how to keep your opinions at bay. You can still have opinions and views, but can you really live life by connecting with people on the heart level? Because we can always find the divine in each other. And I know that's so prominent in East Indian culture, like Jai Guru Dev, right? The divine in me sees the divine in you. And I just really want to teach people to connect on that, yeah, in that one love space. Yeah.
And I'm sure the mission, the vision you are on to, Magda, it's actually fulfilling your soul on a daily basis. It's though it's there for the people out there, though it's there for the seekers out there who are going through that pain, the trouble, the burnout, or even if they are not going through any pain, they want to uplift their life, right? They want to upgrade their life. There are many folks out there who want to upgrade their life to something they always dreamed of since their childhood, right? Everybody
Yeah.
wants to be a good person while they are maturing, but the society, expectations, everything, the work culture, when it kicks in, everything goes on a toss, right? We accept as the things are coming to us. It's a good way to start, but after accepting, we need to decide our approach as well, right?
Mhm.
Because without the approach, we will be landing nowhere then. Yeah, it's only self acceptance doesn't solve all the problems. We need to decide our approach as well after that. And that's where kicks in your role of coaches like you out there who are there guiding individuals or groups, even to corporates as well. People who are going through that emotional trauma, that work pressure, deadlines are there, how to maintain their performances and everything, how to perform at their peak on everyday basis. It's all about body, it's all about mind, it's all about soul and connecting it all together. And that's what coaches like you would gonna help to make this world a better place to live for all, Magda. Magda,
Mm.
how can people reach out to you? If you can share some last words from your side, a message for our listeners out there, then I'll be wrapping up this podcast from my side. Some
Yeah,
last words? Yeah,
one more message is just stay open. Our
yeah,
minds make so many conclusions about things, but just stay open because you never know what something can lead to. Even the way that you and I connected.
yeah,
Like, you reached out to me on LinkedIn, which is interesting because we have such a nice like connection. And I just was like, yeah, let's get on a Zoom call. We didn't really know why we were even,
yeah.
you just felt like the energy was good and I agreed. And I was like, sure, let's have a Zoom call and see what happens. And I just feel like I have so much to learn from you and I really enjoy, your energy. And so just staying open can lead you to really beautiful things. Yeah. And then in terms of connecting with me, you can email me. My email is info@magdalenawellness.com, or you can follow me on Instagram at Magdalena_wellness. You can add me on LinkedIn. We can maybe write my name because my last name is a little bit Trish for LinkedIn and Facebook. Yeah, so you can connect with me any of those ways.
How do you pronounce it? Can you pronounce it again? Your full
Yeah,
name?
it's Magdalena Trish.
Magdalena Trish. Okay.
Trish. Yeah, CZYZ.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Magdalena, this has been such a refreshing and soulful conversation with you. Your story reminds us that wellness isn't about perfection, it's about presence, self love, and connection. To everyone listening out there, if you have ever felt that burnout has taken away your spark, this episode is your reminder you can always dance your way back to joy, one mindful step at a time. Follow Magdalena on LinkedIn and Instagram at Magdalena_wellness and visit magdalenawellness.com to learn more about her upcoming venture, the Vitality and Wellness Studio launching this December. Thank you for tuning into Trust Your Journey 1.0. Until next time, breathe deeply, move freely, and always, always, always trust your journey. Magda, you want to say some nice last words to wrap it up? Over to you.
I just want to second what you said. I love that you said you can always dance yourself back to joy. That is so good. I want to use that. Yeah, I just love everything you just said. So,
It's an inspiration from you only, Magda, because you are such a joyous soul. Look from outside, but I'm sure there's some hidden pains, there are some hidden challenges, which as an energy healer I can sense it. Yeah,
mm,
but not many people can sense it.
mm,
People will see your beautiful face. You've got a beautiful vibe. You've got a. It's a. I can't even express in my words like what I'm feeling right now, because how beautifully you described about yourself, how beautifully you portrayed your journey, how the podcast went. So it's a experience for me as well. When I'm hosting such episodes, it actually gives me as a self reflection, like how what all people are going through and how they're overcoming those challenges. So it gives me that inspiration always, that I will be recording more podcasts in the future, and I'll be inviting more guests like you in the future. And I'm sure we're gonna record more podcasts. We'll decide some series based podcasts too in the near future, as soon as the time gets it's all about timing, right? Whenever the time permits, we'll go through that. Magda,
yeah.
last words from your side.
Well, I wanted to say I have a lot of great people to send your way if you'd like to interview some. And it's, every time we connect, I tear up because you just have this like loving energy about you. And yeah, it always brings me tears at some point in our conversation, every time. Yeah. So I thank you. I'm so grateful. And I just love that you're doing this. And you're so good at running podcasts. I love your questions. Like you're just really good at this. Yeah. So
Thank you so much, Magda. I'll stop the recording and then we can chit
sure.
chat for a couple of minutes. Yeah. Thank you so much for this.